speech, sheet, focus. These are normal English words, but one small vowel mistake can make the listener hear something completely different and sometimes very embarrassing. I'm Nicole Kaup, and I help international professionals refine their English pronunciation so they speak clearly, confidently, and effectively. In this video, we're going to look at how to correct these embarrassing pronunciation mistakes so you no longer second guess your pronunciation or avoid using those words. To get the most out of this video, I recommend downloading the International Professional's Guide to Vowel Precision right now, so you can use it together with this video as we go through the different vowel sounds and examples. Scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description or comments to access it. One reason English vowels create so many problems is that English spelling does not always clearly show you how the word should sound. In English, we have 5 written vowel letters, A, E, I, O, and U, but we have many more vowel sounds than that. Depending upon how you count them, American English has around 15 vowel sounds. So immediately there's a problem. You see 5 letters, but those 5 letters do not represent only 5 sounds. This is very different from many other languages. In many languages, vowel letters are much more consistent. The letter A always sounds like ah, the letter E like eh. When you see the letter, you know without a doubt how to pronounce it. Unfortunately, English does not work that way. In English, the same vowel letter can have different sounds associated with it. And the same vowel sound can be spelled several different ways. For example, the long A sound occurs in words like day, wait, name, and great. The spelling changes, but the sound is still the same. So if you're relying only on the spelling, English vowels can feel completely unpredictable. Do you trust the letter? Do you trust the spelling? Do you trust what you think you heard? And if no one has ever explained to you the English vowel system, you may not even realize there is a system. Many non-native speakers simply see a written vowel and pronounce it the way that that vowel would be pronounced in their first language. And that's where a lot of pronunciation problems begin. The speaker may have a well-developed vocabulary, solid grammar, and a very high level of English, but the vowel system they're using is not the American English vowel system. And because vowels are so central to word recognition, that can make the accent sound stronger, make certain words harder to understand, and sometimes creates embarrassing misunderstandings. To simplify this, today we're going to focus on one very important foundation of English vowel pronunciation: long vowels and short vowels. This is not the entire vowel system, but it is one of the most important places to start. Each of the vowel letters has what we traditionally call a long sound and a short sound. The long vowel sounds like the name of the letter. So long A sounds like A, as in day, wait, and name. Long E sounds like E, as in see, seat, and cheese. Long I sounds like I, as in time, fine, or right. Long O sounds like O, as in go, home, and focus. Long U sounds like U, as in use, music, and human. Then we have the short vowel sounds, which are not actually short versions of what we term long vowels, but are completely distinct sounds. Short A is the A in cat, apple, and back. Short E is the E in bed, red, and pet. Short I is the I in sit, business, and English. Short O is the ah in hot, job, and office. And most dialects, the vowel in talk, draw, and daughter. Short U is the in cut, bud, and up. Let me repeat a key concept here. A long vowel is not simply a longer version of the short vowel. That is one of the biggest misunderstandings. Long and short vowels are completely different sounds in English. So if you're trying to fix the pronunciation by just making the vowel longer, that may not solve the problem. You need to know the actual sound, and you also need to understand the movement or melody inside the vowel. Let's start with one of the most common vowel pairs that causes embarrassing mistakes: short I and long E. This is the difference between words like sit and seat, tin and teen, live and leave, and of course, beach, sheep, peace, and their less appropriate counterparts. This is a very high frequency vowel contrast in English. Native speakers hear this difference very clearly, but most non-native speakers do not hear it at all because their language does not have this same distinction. Many languages have only one vowel sound for each of the 5 vowel letters, but their sound is not exactly our long or our short vowel in English, but something with characteristics of each. It's not one or the other, but it's a little bit of both. So let's look at this using the highest frequency vowel contrast, the I and the E. First, the short I. Listen to this word: sit, sit. The vowel in sit is relax. You relax everything in your face and your jaw. Make sure not to hold any tension in the muscles of your face, your lips, your jaw, or your tongue. Sit. It's a short and simple sound. It does not have much melody, and it does not move very much. Now let's compare that with the long E, seat. Seat. This sound has much more tension. Your lips are spread, almost like in a smile. You may feel tension in your cheeks. You may feel tension in your tongue. Your mouth is more active. Seat. And here is the critical part. In American English, that long E is not just a flat sound. It has length and it has melody. It's as if you're repeating the E sound or saying it twice, but on a different musical note. Seat, beach, sheet, peace. So the difference is not just short vowel versus long vowel. The difference is a relaxed, flat vowel versus a tense, longer, melodic vowel. Think of short vowels as having only one sound, while long vowels have 2 sounds. All you have to do is look at the typical spellings of short and long vowels to realize this. Short vowels are usually written with a single vowel letter, while long vowels are most often written with 2 vowel letters. Now try this with me. Sit, seat. Tin, teen. Live, leave. The word beach needs that long E sound. It needs tension, it needs length, it needs melody, or the 2 E's with different musical notes. Beach. If the vowel becomes simple, too relaxed, and too flat, the listener may hear the other word. It's the exact same distinction with the word sheet and its less polite counterpart. Again, the difference is the vowel. The consonants are the same. The only difference is the vowel sound. Long, tense and melodic for sheet. Short, simple and flat for the other unmentionable word. Now I want to pause here and talk about why this matters in professional communication. Because yes, sometimes this mistake is embarrassing. Sometimes the listener laughs. Sometimes they tease you. Sometimes they look shocked. But the deeper problem is that your message gets interrupted. The listener stops listening to your point and starts reacting to the pronunciation. Instead of hearing your idea, your strategy, your recommendation, or your expertise, they get distracted by a word that sounded wrong. That can weaken your presence. It can make your English sound less advanced than it really is. It can make you feel less confident, and it can cause you to avoid words you actually need to use. A strong communicator should not have to avoid ordinary words like beach, sheet, piece, or focus. If you're speaking in a meeting, presenting data, discussing a spreadsheet, talking about a focus area, explaining a project, you need those words to come out clearly and confidently. Now let's talk about another word that comes up all the time with my clients: focus. Many people tell me they avoid this word completely. They say concentrate instead. And usually the reason is that when they say focus, the listener hears something much more distracting. Again, the problem is the vowel. To correctly say focus, you need to use a long, tense, melodic O. This American English O includes two sounds. It starts with O and finishes with U. If you use a short, flat, single O sound without the U, you will be misheard. Focus. Focus. Here are a few similar words to practice with: boat, but, soak, suck. Those previous two categories are the biggies to watch out for most. But this same vowel contrast applies in other vowels as well. Let's look at a few more long and short vowel contrasts. Remember, the long vowel usually sounds like the name of the letter, and then the short vowel sounds like something completely different. So long A sounds like A, short E sounds like eh. Let's look at main and men. The long A in main has movement, it's not flat, and it's composed of two sounds, an eh and an E. The short E in men is short and flat, and it only has one single eh sound. Main, men. Late, let. Wait, wet. Now let's compare the long oo with the short Luke, look. Luke, look. The long oo in Luke is more tense and more melodic. It's like you're repeating that oo sound, ooh. You're actually saying it twice, but on a different musical note. Luke. Whereas the short is simple and completely relaxed. Look. Now let's do the long I in time. Time. Similar to the previous vowels, the long I sound is a blend of two vowels. It's a combination of ah and e. And like all long vowels, it's not simple and flat. It's long and it has a change in musical note. Time, fine, right. Compare that with a shorter vowel in words like tom and fun. Tom, time, fun, fine. These are not all the vowel sounds in English, but this gives you a foundation. Now let's connect this to word stress. In English, listeners rely heavily on stress patterns to recognize words. That means your listener is paying attention to the stressed syllable. And within that stressed syllable, the most important sound is the vowel. So if you use the correct stress pattern, but the vowel is unclear, your listener may still struggle. So vowel pronunciation and word stress work together. That's why vowels are so important for being understood the first time. So first, start noticing when a word has a long vowel or a short vowel. Do not rely on spelling. Train your ear to hear the difference. Second, pay special attention to the vowel in the stressed syllable. That's the vowel your listener is using to identify the word. Third, remember that long vowels in English are not flat. They have movement, they have melody, they have shape. And fourth, practice the high-risk words until you no longer feel afraid of them. Beach, sheet, piece, focus, spreadsheet. These are normal English words. You should be able to say them without hesitation. The main point is this: Vowels are not a small detail. They're one of the reasons your English may sound clear and confident or unclear and easy to misunderstand. And when a vowel changes, the word can change too. That's why these sounds matter so much. Not because you need to sound perfect, not because you need to remove your accent completely, but because you need your listener to catch the word you meant the first time you say it. And because you should not have to avoid ordinary English words out of fear or embarrassment. Clear speech gives you more confidence. It helps your ideas land. It allows people to focus on your message instead of getting distracted by your pronunciation mistakes. If you've not watched my previous video on word stress, I recommend watching that next. Because as I just explained, word stress and vowel pronunciation go hand in hand.